welcome to my workshop. Hi, welcome back to Pete's Christmas Light channel. In past years, when I've gone to put lights up to two palm trees I have in my front yard, these are Alexander palms. They are around about 5.5 metres to where the branches start. So it's quite a hike up, so you will need to use this tool, as we talked about in the last video. Now in past years, what I've done is I used a rope light, and this was really simple with this tool because by putting the rope light through the open end of the socket, it was easy to push it up so you get an even wrap around the palm tree. This year, however, I've decided to make life difficult on myself and I'm using fairy lights instead. Today I'm going to show you the result I come up with. Now there's a bit of trial and error in getting these fairy lights up, and I tried a few different methods, and today I'm going to show you what I finally come up with and I think is the best solution. Hopefully it helps you as well. Okay, so the first part involved making a special hook that I'm going to be hauling the lights up to the top of the tree with. So I had some of these plastic rollers laying around, so I've cut one in half, and that will simply go on right here, and that's just a matter of bending this up to stop the roller from falling off, and then cut this to size. So there you have it, just a bit of fine tuning on here and we're done. Then this will eventually, using our special lifting tool, go up onto the tree itself, onto the hook that's existing up there. There'll be a piece of rope running through here and we're going to use that to haul our decoration up the tree. So when you're putting lights up this tree, it's important to remember when using this method that the trunk is not the same diameter the whole way up. As you can see about here, it gets a bit thicker, so you have to make sure that the lift ring we're going to use will go around that. And here's a tree that we prepared a little bit earlier. Hopefully these two are going to match up quite nicely. After checking the circumference of the tree, I've created this collar using some fairly stiff wire. Now don't forget that bulge in the centre of the tree. You need to make it big enough that it's going to go around that as well. Now we already know that the strand of lights I have is just under 30 metres long and that the tree is just over 5 metres to the ring. That means I'm going to get just over 5 runs up and down the tree. So I'll create some small loops in the wire to attach each run to. Once you've finished making the little tabs, bend the wire back into a circular shape to go around the tree. To make this next step a little bit easier, I've taken the lights out of the box and put them onto a reel.
Uh. 2,000 years later.
Now that's done, make sure you do a test of your lights to make sure they're all working properly. Bingo. Having the lights on a reel makes setting up these runs so much simpler. Using cable ties, attach the ends of the run to the wire collar. Okay, so the next part of this video was a little bit tougher to organise, and I had to change t-shirts and get a haircut. Now, back to the video. Rope through the hook that we made earlier, making sure there's enough to go up and down the tree so you can haul up the collar. And use a lifting tool to put the hook into place. And what we've got to try and do is get that hook into that little hole up there. And if you can arrange it, it's always nice to have a cheer squad.
Yay, he did it! Woohoo!
Okay, so here's the little frame we made up earlier. All you do is position that around the tree, like this. You want to make sure that your lights are going to be to the front of the tree, because this is where people are going to be looking, not the back of the house. So put that around the tree and secure that. Now you can see we've made a bit of room here. The reason for that is the Alexander palms have a bulge in the centre, so we need to better get around that. So secure that, bend your wire down. That's enough. Okay, and the reason I'm putting the rope up there is this is kind of a two-handed operation. Because the trunk of this tree is not smooth, or not as smooth as I'd like, you do need to be able to push it from both sides. And the way I found to do that is by just tying this rope up just onto this strap here. Make sure it's something that's not going to slip off. I probably shouldn't have used a reef knot, probably should have used a bowline, but anyway, it'll do the trick. There we go, part one. Okay, so I'll start hauling the wire collar up and getting up as high as I can by hand before I have to use the lifting tool. So use the rope and the pole in unison to move the collar up to the top of the tree.
Rolling.
Well, I wasn't going to include this bit, but you know what they say about the best laid plans? Well, things come a little bit astray, and as you'll see, I've had to bring the lights back down again, or the frame back down again, and make a little extension because I miscalculated how wide the tree was halfway up. So here we are. I'll put a little extension piece in, and I've also changed my knot to a bowline. So it is definitely a two-handed operation, and with a bit of fiddling around, we finally get the collar up to the top of the tree. Now I clearly haven't done this here myself, but I would highly recommend removing those seed pods before doing the lights. Right, so as you can see, we've got a bit of a tangle up here. It's not a major issue, I was expecting that, and it's just a matter of sorting it out before we move on to the next stage. Finally, once you get the all the strands sorted out, you can wrap the excess rope around them just to hold them in place and stop them flapping on the tree. So there we are, the finished product, and tonight, or in 2 seconds for you, you'll see the finished product. Oh, just for another tip, if you have bougainvillea in your garden, or any other type of plant that threatens life and limb, you may find yourself in a position where you have to choose between the plant or the lights. If you do decide to keep both, make sure you have plenty of band-aids. Just so you can see the difference between the rope light and the fairy lights. This is the rope lights from a few years ago compared to the fairy lights we've put up this year. Huge difference and much better. So thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of it. Don't forget, subscribe, put a like on, and look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.